Nigeria, this is a large group of researchers, and then we are focusing so much on how to help Nigeria, Africa at large, to get better in learning science and other subjects within the STEM concepts. The study here is titled CTCA, and this is my first attempt in the physics class. How will I perform? This figure on the screen shows the performance of students in physics over the years. You can see the graph, you can see how it's fluctuating up to 2017. 5 years down the line, we have not recorded significant difference in student performance, particularly in national examinations like WASE and NECO and others. This is given concern to science educators in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, because the lesser physics we have, the lesser understanding we have in physics, the less scientists we can produce, the lesser technology development that we would have. So again, it followed the same order. We found out in literature that two factors are more prominent in why students are not doing very well in STEM, not only in Africa. Concept difficulty, you could see the literatures that I cited, and of course, how are these concepts being delivered in the classroom? So these two factors again serve as our impetus, and then we therefore said to ourselves, let's go the same order. Let's identify concepts that students find difficult to learn, and of course, let's target if CTCA can help to boost student performance in this difficult concept. We had 3 research questions. One was to first and foremost, find concepts that students find difficult to learn, and then test the potency of CTCA, and the third one, find out student perception about CTCA. Just as I said earlier, CTCA is an amalgam of what you can see on the screen, the culture, the technology, and of course, the context. Not only that, you will have these my explanations that CTCA combines the power of other innovative teaching strategies such as collaborative learning, think, pair, share, direct discovery, and others. The theoretical, the theories and philosophies that that CTCA rests on are what you can see on the screen, and most prominent among them is the chemical contextual theory and the theory of social constructivism. Yes, we went the same way, the methodology. We had a population of all students in West Africa, and like I said, we focused on Nigeria and Ghana, and for the same reason, because it covers larger parts of that group. We had 1,621 final year students who have covered more than 98% of the entire topics in the syllabus at the time we were conducting this study. We had our instruments to measure the difficult concepts, and the instrument reliability coefficient was 0.76. Using the mean rank method, we were able to rank the 20 highlighted method in the order that I will show in the next slide. Refractive indices and came first, while gas law ranked low at the bottom of the table. As you can see on the screen, refractive indices of rectangular and triangular prisms came first as the most difficult, while gas laws came last. Some had argued that why not electromagnetism? Well, that is what we found. It's a study, and we have reported it as we found it. So I haven't found the most difficult concept. Like I said earlier, we had a group that has worked on the most difficult concepts in biology, but here, this study is taken to be the first that is checking the most difficult concept, and that was refractive indices. We had 2 schools in Lagos, Nigeria. We used year 1 students because at the time we were conducting this study, they have not been taught that topic. We had 96 subjects in the control group and 109 subjects in the experimental group. Achievement in refractive indices was an instrument with 30 discrete items in the multiple item instrument. The instrument was designed to cater for all the contents that were drawn in the lesson plan that was used. We had 4 weeks of treatment. Each group had 80 minutes contact period per week. Using the same instrument, we had a pre-test, and then after the treatment, we had the post-test. How was this implemented? Just the same order. Step 1 and step 5 usually would take place outside the classroom, while the step 2, the step 3, and the step 4 takes place in the classroom. These are examples of the teacher used in explaining refraction or refractive indices in the past. You can see the spoon in the cup here looking like it's bending. This is refraction. You can see the image of the student in water looking like it's shifting from where it was. Then you can see this, the early morning rising sun, dispersion of light. All of this explains the concept of refraction, and they are within the reach of the students. We got our data after the post-test, and then because we just randomly assigned the students, we use analysis of covariance, putting our confidence level at 95. I've satisfied major part of the assumptions, only homogeneity of variance field, but because of the robustness of that statistical tool, we went ahead to use it. We found out that the experimental group outperformed the control group. What again, in our thinking, could have led to the better performance of the experimental student or the student in the experimental class? One is the pre-lesson assignment. Two is, when they take the step one, they have to go to the YouTube to watch videos. They also go to their parents to discuss with them on, possible indigenous knowledge or cultural practices related to this concept. And we said also, this could have been one of the reasons why the students are doing better, because they're not coming to class empty-headed. They have gained some prerequisites about this concept, but some of them gain better understanding than what they will have picked up within the classroom. And then several studies have also said so much about when parents teach their children the cultural value, the love that the parents would use to teach the children. Sometimes they might get it more better than in the regular four walls of the classroom. Second to it is the love of the children. Today's children, according to Prenskin and other authors, the love of the children for computers and the internet could also have been a factor for why they're performing better. The group discussion, you can see ZPD in action. Students are moving from their lower ebb to a higher ebb that they could not have reached on their own, but with the help of the parents, with the help of the YouTube, with the help of their classmates, they're able to get better. We can see scaffolding in action as well. Use of context example. Oh, but this is not the mother tree that was used in the presentation by the keynote address speaker. But of course, it explains refraction, and you can see the tree showing in the water. Next to that is the lesson summary that the students got. I recall one of the students during the interview said to me that, sir, what I enjoy most is the summary, because I was asking which part of this method or this way you were taught did you like or did you enjoy most? And the child told me, the student told me, sir, it is the summary of the class because it helps me for quick revision. I can always go, even if I've forgotten a little of what we have learned, I can always go back to the summary and pick up from there. And some of the testimonies are what you can see on the screen. Students A says, sir, I like the method. It makes the lesson lively. And for me, I really enjoy the group discussion because I learn many things from my friends. What the contribution of this study is that one, simplifies culturally responsive science pedagogy. That science is not standing aloof away from the culture, away from the society. And we getting to know that the better for us. It showcases that traditionally perceived difficult concepts can be made easy to learn for the student if we look at culture, technology, and of course the learner's environment. We therefore recommend that these teachers should look into CTCA and adopt it as a method in their classroom. Then we are also planning to take further steps, look at the second difficult concept, third, and also take care of the limitations that we had in this first one and see if we're going to have consistent results. Thank you for your attention.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a well-prepared presentation, way less than our 15-minute target. You did it for almost just 10 minutes. Thank you. Now let's have questions from our colleagues online and here in the classroom or in the room.
Yeah, maybe I can ask Kunle first. Kunle, that was a very well presented report of the study. It would have been nice for you to mention those others who are your co-authors, just like we have in the others where they even show the pictures of the other people who were the co-authors. But that's just no problem. That's just on the side. Can you tell us the give us an example of a social culturally related thing relating to social culturally related idea relating to refraction.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
One of my students in the class said to me that, sir, when I asked my dad, what he told me was that it is due to refraction that when they were younger in the village, but they had this clear river that you can see the fish swimming,
Wonderful.
swimming, but you want to try to catch the fish, but you will not be able.
Of course.
Because what you are seeing at the rate you are seeing it is not at the rate with which the fish is. So it is due to the refraction that you are seeing a different thing. This is the angle, and this is what you are seeing.
Wonderful. So are you able to go? You have a stream close to your house. You go and catch some fish. Make sure you don't come directly on it. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's a wonderful example.
It is.
I'm thinking about the summary of the lesson that is being sent to the students via WhatsApp. Who prepares the summary of the lesson, and how long is that summary of the lesson?
Thank you very much. For the first lesson, it is the responsibility of the teacher, and usually it is not more than 2 pages of SMS. Yeah. The shorter the better. So, but after the first lesson, it becomes the responsibility of the teacher to assign one of the group leaders, maybe group leader A, the second lesson, the third lesson. In this case, we had 4 lessons. So the 3 remaining lessons, it was done by the teacher. And I ensure that before it was posted to the group, it was first sent to me to see that the content is good.
Right. And why WhatsApp? I'm sorry, I don't know much of the context in your country, but why you're sending the class summary in WhatsApp?
I didn't get that.
Why are you sending the class summary on the WhatsApp platform to them?
You're okay on the WhatsApp because our students today, most of our students in the classroom have access to Android phones. And then we look at the cost of using bulk SMS with respect to using WhatsApp. They are more used to the WhatsApp. So if you don't get there, again, another angle to it is this that we thought of. If you don't, or as CTCA explains, if you don't get their attention with learning with this gadget, they will do other things with it. So we are meeting them at home. They have left the classroom, but we are meeting them at home with this summary. So while they are going through their WhatsApp, maybe to do other things, the message just drop, summary of lesson. It caught your attention. You want to go to it and read 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, maybe I can just follow up with that. You see, a survey that we did before we started the series of experiments showed that about 75% of our high school, called secondary school students, have phones that they use for WhatsApp communication. And they also in their own WhatsApp groups. So rather than use their WhatsApp for junk, we're not using this for an educational experience for them. And they love it, just like he said. Yeah.
Thank you. I think Fred raised his hand. Fred, do you have some questions or comments?
No, I think that it's just a build-up from the same team, and Professor Kebukola has said it. It is to be noted that that part is drawn from the technological bit of the CTCA that is largely hinged on the work of Hediger. So the options are not only, you can use emails, you can use text messages, WhatsApp, or even Facebook if they are in groups. But the convenient for our team is one, WhatsApp, because almost all of the students in Africa now have handheld devices like our noble professor did indicate. So it's convenient. It is the one that reaches the students conveniently. So instead of sending emails where they will have to go to the internet cafe or sending through text messages, which is not something that is regular with their generation, we opted for WhatsApp in almost all of our studies. It has been consistent and it's been achieving good results. I just thought I should add that.
Very well done, Fred. Dr. Fred.
Thank you, Dr. Fred. Thank you. Right from Accra.
Yes, and all of you there online are just like past midnight. And thank you really for staying online, staying awake. And let's see if we have more questions from the floor.
Where is the floor now? The virtual floor or the on-site floor?
All right, so other questions from our colleagues online as well? Any questions from Hannah's presentation or from Sasha's presentation?
I think the object of this kind of paneling, putting us different research groups together, is to see how we will learn from one another and also how we can collaborate. I've learned some lessons from the presentation by Anna and by Sasha, and we're going to be in touch with you so that we can see how we can, the areas where our studies intersect, and those areas where they don't intersect, see how we can replicate the good things you are doing in Netherlands, in Germany, because as I said, Sasha, this idea of diagnostics is hardly what we have. What we have in real life is when the assessment is done, you give a multiple choice test and all that. You don't go through this diagnostic thing, which is very good. So I'm hoping that we'll be in touch with the two of you and we will see how we will collaborate in research.
Right, I think that's the right time. And it's a nice way of ending this presentation with that message, sir. So with that, I think we call this meeting to end and we give ourselves, everyone, a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, moderator, for very ably moderating this session. You've done very well.
Yeah, thank you very much. And now maybe it's time for you guys there to rest and sleep. Okay, everyone.